hacking digestion is about helping your body send the right signals to your appetite center. Hi there, my name is Deanna Bedoya and welcome back. This is our third video in our series about appetite mastery and the appetite mastery system. The appetite mastery system, it's like a road map. It's a map where you get to kind of figure out your own map, your own route, right? To why you are eating more than you would like to and what you can do about it. So what we're really trying to figure out is what is driving your appetite, your desire to eat that may or may not be influenced by hunger, but it's often, it's not hunger appetite that we're worried about. It's that overactive mental hunger, that mental appetite that for most people is what's driving their desire to eat more. Okay, so we want to figure out what is driving your appetite ship and then make you the captain again, right? Make you the master again. Okay? So the question that frames this particular video is what or how you're eating making you want to eat more? Is it the foods you're eating that are actually increasing your appetite? And is it the way you're eating that is actually increasing appetite? So we're going to look at which foods and patterns of eating increase appetite and which decrease appetite. So like I've said, hacking digestion is about helping your body send the right signals to your appetite center. Your appetite center, which is around here, more or less, mainly your hypothalamus, is receiving messages all the time from your small intestine, from the bacteria, organisms, etc. in the large intestine. Your stomach sends signals to your appetite center as well. Your pancreas does as well via insulin. Our brain is constantly receiving those messages, and those messages should be, hey, you just ate, you are full, don't eat anymore, right? That's how it should work. You eat, you're hungry, ding, 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 my brain says, ding, 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 I'm hungry, I need to eat, I don't have enough nutrients in my body. Okay, then you eat. Then those nutrients, those foods get digested, those nutrients enter your system. And there's this, what we call feedback to your brain saying, oh, hey, you just ate, congratulations, now you don't have to eat anymore. Okay, something we call satiety. Okay, our system is set up to be able to do that. It is already set up to be able to regulate your food intake. However, the foods we're currently eating, the typical North American diet and kind of the lies of the food industry as well, have made us eat in a way where these signals, they're all messed up. They're not working as well as they should. Yeah, they're still sending signals, but often our body is sending signals to our brain in excess of what it actually needs. And part of the reason is because of the foods we're eating. They're not providing the right signals to our brain. So how do we get back to getting those right signals going to our brain so we really know how to understand our own hunger and fullness better, okay? Which again, we're never taught how to do. Hacking digestion is really about you reconnecting with your body and you listening to your body more, but it's also about helping it work in its optimal way in order to properly send the signals that are going to help you feel more balanced. Okay, so that's what we're going to do in this presentation. We're going to go over the main ways to promote fullness and talk about the things that actually promote appetite. Okay, so honestly, if I were to boil this all down to one concept and you were just to leave with one thing in your head, as a general rule, choose whole foods. Whole foods are foods that don't have a lot of processing. They're kind of in their natural state. If you think of a grocery store, whole foods are usually the foods that you find in those outer aisles. The ones that it's like chicken. It's one ingredient. It's like chicken or like potato or corn or broccoli or even milk, you could argue is minimally processed, but we would argue that is more of a whole food as well. Stick to foods that look real, that taste real. Okay, focus more on these whole foods instead of these processed, and especially these are what we would refer to as highly processed foods. So highly processed foods, these are ones that come in like bright colored packages. They have a bunch of ingredients, like a long list of ingredients, often ones that don't read like real foods. And I'm not saying you can never eat processed foods again, because like, come on, I don't believe in an all or nothing approach. What I am saying is that if the majority of our food-based decisions are coming from processed food, that is going to mess with our appetite sensing. That is going to mess with our hunger. They are very good at like tricking the body into wanting to eat more, right? They help escape some of those regular signals that the body's really good at sending to the brain to tell it it's full. These processed foods mess with these signals, and we don't fully understand all the ways they do that. But as a general rule, if I were to summarize all of this, try your best to get most of your food in more of a whole and minimally processed way, okay? If I were to speak more to what we find within food, right, there are certain nutrients that promote a feeling of fullness more so than others. So it is well established that foods higher in protein are really good at reducing our desire to eat, at promoting the feeling of fullness, right? You're more likely to feel full after eating even one egg than after eating, let's say, a granola bar or a chocolate bar that had like more calories in it to begin with, right? Depending on the chocolate bar as well, right? But 70 calories of an egg is going to fill you up way more than 70 calories of a protein-rich foods, whether from animal products or whether from plant products, promote a feeling of fullness. So a good place to start, if you are someone that has the condition I like to call the eat forevers, which I have, it's a good idea to get make sure you're getting enough protein in your diet in order to be able to regulate that. On the other hand, sugar and fat, this is like appetite enhancing central. I like to say eating sugar makes you want to eat more sugar, right? And I'm not one to like vilify an entire nutrient or a type of food. I get sugar in my diet as well, but it's not a foundational food or nutrient, I should say, right? Sugar-based foods, sugary, fatty foods, I consume them sometimes, but I know when my appetite's overactive, do this for yourself. When your appetite's overactive and you're like, oh my God, I can't stop eating, what kind of foods are you eating? Chances are they look more like these kind of foods than like these kind of foods, right? We're usually not binging on whole foods. We're often binging on sugary and fatty foods, okay? Now we want to make sure we protect our mental health and our emotional well-being, and we don't want to get restrictive or like say all sugary and fatty foods are bad, and there's a place for them in a healthy diet. But if they are currently the foundation of your diet, that might be why your appetite is so overactive. And to that note, the food industry has done that. The food industry knows what they're doing. They have purposely manipulated foods in order for them to be really high in sugar and really high in fat, so they kind of mess with your hunger signals and you want to eat more, so you buy more. They're really good. Food marketers, food manufacturers, they're really good at making you eat more, okay? So don't fall for their tricks and just go back to regular whole foods if you can, even just slightly try to shift the diet towards that. Another great trick, if you do have a trouble with feeling full, is to choose volume-rich foods like really good soups or salads as well. It's a concept called volumetrics, and it makes a lot of sense because our stomach, one of the cues that comes up to the brain to tell the brain it's full is when our stomach stretches. Okay, more stomach stretch, the more that signal is going to go to the brain. You know what stretches out the stomach? Volume. Okay, so when you eat these voluminous foods, and not just water won't do it itself, there needs to be kind of some substance to that volume, right? Those volume-rich foods tend to fill our stomach more, right? And promote that feeling of fullness that can go back to your brain. So I friggin' love soups. I love salads as well, and if you are trying to minimize caloric density in your diet, if that's something that's important to you, I would probably go for more broth-based soups than cream-based soups, because those can be really high in calories, okay? Not that I'm afraid of calories or anything, but if that is a concern for you, that is something to keep in mind. But I love soup. Summer, winter, I love soup, okay? Fiber. Think fiber, think plants. Think whole plants, okay? The reason we don't get enough fiber in our diet is because, again, we're eating a lot of these things. We're eating a lot of these processed foods that have pretty much zero fiber in them as a rule. One of the first things that the food industry does when they take grains and refine them is they remove the fiber from them. Okay, so when you go back to whole foods and specifically plants, you are going to be choosing more fiber-rich foods. And if you're eating a lot of plants together within a salad, that's a volume-rich plant food. And let's say you make a salad and you throw some chicken on top of it. Now we have protein as well. Now we have a fullness bomb. We take plants with fiber, we take volume-rich foods, and we throw in some protein. Oh my goodness, we are more likely to feel full after that kind of a meal, as opposed to, consuming a few too many Tim Tams, which are delicious as well. There's always room in a diet for Tim Tams. But we don't want to just make these things the foundation of our diet. We ideally want to make these other choices. Okay. Fiber, just a side note about fiber-rich foods. These are really good at regulating blood cholesterol, regulating blood glucose if someone has a concern about diabetes. And like I mentioned, they can help with weight management as well. Okay. So fiber-rich food, fiber is your friend. Big fan of fiber. Don't worry about seeking out nutrition labels to make sure foods are high in fiber, though you can do that as well. Just eat a bunch of whole plants. If you're eating lots of plants, you're going to be getting lots of fiber. Okay. Something else that's really good at tricking the system are these sugar sweetened beverages. Okay, sugar sweetened beverages, we could put a label on these. You can probably figure out what some of these allude to, but we're talking about our Coca-Colas, we're talking about our Sprites, we're talking about our Arizona iced teas, our Red Bulls, and even juice as well. This is especially the ones that have a lot of added stuff. Those would be considered sugar sweetened beverages. And there is a lot of literature around the fact that these sugar sweetened beverages are associated with higher weights, and they are associated with people eating more calories than they would like to. Okay, so a trick here is I know people can become really dependent on these sugar sweetened beverages, and no judgment if that's you. But if you're the kind of person that no, I need to have one every day, can you cut it in half? Can you mix your sugar sweetened beverage with some water? Can you find another drink that tastes good? Right? But that's not just so full of sugar, right? Our body can really get dependent on these. This is one of the easiest ways to gain a lot of fat mass is by consuming a lot of sugar sweetened beverages. And it could be night and day, the effect, if you were to minimize your consumption of these. The literature is quite clear that we are consuming too many of these and that these are contributing to things like obesity, okay? Something else that is important to hacking digestion that isn't just about the food you eat, it's about how you eat. So as I keep saying, it takes some time for the brain to receive the message that it's full, okay? And it's not just the stomach that helps send that message, but a bunch of different parts of the digestive tract help send that message. It is believed that it takes, remember this number, 20 minutes. 20 minutes for the brain to receive the message it's full, okay? So has this ever happened to you? You're starving. Oh my God, I'm so hungry. Oh my God, I'm so hungry, okay? Then you go and you're like, oh my God, I finally have food. Yes, yes, I found some food, okay? And you eat that food so quickly. You eat a lot of food really quickly, okay? And then let's say you eat a lot of food in 5 minutes. You're just so hungry, you just scarf down the food and you ate a lot. I'm still hungry. I still want to eat more. And then you eat more. And you do eat more because you're human and that makes sense, right? And you eat more, and then how do you feel? You probably feel really full and probably really uncomfortable as well, right? The reason you didn't feel full even though you ate is that you didn't give your brain enough time to receive the message that you're full. Okay? So this one's tough, is practicing. If you've always eaten quickly, like myself, I used to eat quickly so my brother wouldn't steal my food. If I ate too slowly, he would like steal my food. So I was like very like a lack mentality around food. I would just eat it really quickly and before he did. That really messed with me. And it really it's been one of the hardest things for me is to learn to eat more slowly. So I have a whole video on this, and if you want to check that out, I recommend doing so, right? But things like just a good kind of thing to note for the moment is be aware when it's happening, right? When I'm eating too quickly sometimes, I'm like, oh my God, I'm eating too quickly, and it still happens. And I'm eating too quickly, I'm like, whoa. Oh, I'm doing it. I can feel my energy. You know what I mean? Like I can feel that I'm like, oh, okay, right? Unclench. Watch your body posture, right? Watch your emotions and your anxiety and how you're feeling. And be like, okay, oh, right. I roll my shoulders back. I try to sit back. I might go for a bit of a walk around my kitchen. I might push myself back from the table, right? I might go like put a record on or something else, something to just slow me down. Right? Awareness is key for changing behaviors. Okay. And here's another thing. We often eat a lot when we are not paying attention, right? Part of what helps send the signal to the brain that we are full is our attention on that. It is our conscious mind as well. Okay. So I always think of like going to get fries from a drive-through, right? You go, you have your pop and you get your fries from the drive-through and you're just eating them mindlessly. They're just being shoved into your mouth. And then it's over and you didn't even enjoy it. You're like, yeah, I enjoyed those fries. Okay, maybe you did enjoy it, but you didn't enjoy it as much as if you ever really paid attention, right? So if you're going to eat something, eat it, enjoy it, pay attention, don't rush through it, right? Paying attention while we're eating is so important as part of making ourselves feel full. So pay attention while you eat, okay? It's important to say with all of these suggestions that I am not suggesting restricting. I do not believe in restricting. What I do believe in is reshaping. And I do believe in creating a better relationship with food where you are going to feel more whole. I don't have any foods on my restricted list. Okay, I have foods that don't make me feel good that I try to minimize, but I still sometimes eat them. Like ice cream, I'm lactose intolerant and I shouldn't eat ice cream, but I still eat it. Okay, I don't believe in restricting, right? What I do believe is trying to focus on the majority of our choices being healthy ones, right? They call it the 80-20 rule, the 90-10 rule, whatever you want to call it. But I like this graphic here because I made it, but it's because we think balance means that like it's 50-50. It's not always 50-50, and balance definitely isn't 100% zero, right? So, let's be honest. These foods here, they're fun. They taste good. I'm not going to give up sugar. I'm not going to give up fat. I'm not going to give up processed foods and never eat them again. Okay? Maybe I will someday, but that's not where I'm at right now. What I don't want to do is I don't want the foundations of my diet to be those less healthy choices. Right? And when you're eating mostly healthy and eating the foods that do fill you up more, you're going to probably enjoy those less healthy ones as well. Right? And it's important when you do eat those less healthy ones that you pay attention. If you're going to eat a chocolate cake, freaking eat that chocolate cake and enjoy the shit out of it. Don't just eat it so quickly so it's gone. My mom used to do that. She would get a box of chocolate and she would just be like, no, I need to finish it. It needs to be gone. She wasn't even enjoying it, right? That is not a healthy relationship with food. I've definitely done that myself, right? So again, with appetite mastery, it's all about being aware and figuring out what's going on with you, okay? But it's important for yourself to be compassionate and patient. Changing behavior takes time. You have to want to, you have to have the skills to, you have to have ideally the right support systems to as well. Right? And it takes a while to reshape your life, okay? So be compassionate and patient and non-judgmental right? And kind with yourself as you are trying to change behavior. But what I don't want to see is I don't want you to think, oh, this is too hard, I can't do this, right? And I was a bit judgy the way I said that. I don't mean it judgy. Like, what I mean is I think a lot of us feel defeated, and a lot of us feel that, you know, there's nothing we can do about our behaviors or our weight or our appetite or things like this. And there absolutely is. There absolutely is changes that you can make that are going to help you feel more empowered, and they're going to help you enjoy your life more. Okay, so even if you've always done things a certain way, know that you can change. You absolutely can change. And it is the most freeing, liberating thing in the world to finally have a good relationship with food, so you have more time to be your shiny, radiant, sparkly self. And never forget that you deserve to feel great in your body. You deserve to, you are worthy to, and you can absolutely get there. So I am Deanna Bedoya. Join me in the next video, and we are going to be talking about some of the environmental cues that can really drive appetite as well, and how you can reshape some of those. So I will see you then.